Hey guys, Mikey here. Welcome to episode 44, Controller Nation Weekly for the week of May 27th. We have a lot of news this week, so let's get to it. Carmageddon Reincarnation has exceeded their Kickstarter goal of $400,000 and should see the light of day in early 2013. Now that 38 Studios is kaput, some of their dirty laundry is being aired. For starters, 38 Studios had a relocation agreement to bring developers to Rhode Island. Part of the agreement was the studio would take care of selling their old houses. Unfortunately, they didn't fulfill their end of the agreement, and now ex-employees are facing late payments on houses they were told had already been sold. On top of all this, Curt Shilling is blaming Rhode Island Governor Lincoln Chafee for comments made that led 38 Studios to lose a $35 million publishing deal for what would have been an Amular sequel that was in pre-production. THQ has been busy trying to keep the company afloat. They have named Naughty Dog co-founder Jason Rubin as their new president, as well as splitting their stocks to create more shares to help keep them on the NASDAQ. Hopefully, getting someone that knows the business to head the company will put them on solid ground. Mike Cap, CEO of Epic Games, confirmed at GDC that the Unreal Engine 4 will not support Wii U. However, Unreal Engine 3 will be supported. So as more developers move to Unreal Engine 4, Nintendo will be excluded from multi-platform third-party titles, much like the Wii was. Amazon Instant Video is now on Xbox 360, as well as other streaming providers, including IGN on Xbox Live, Manga Entertainment, and Muzu.tv. 2 weeks ago, we reported on a Battlefield service similar to Activision's Call of Duty Elite. This week, we can confirm that the service will be called Battlefield Premium. The service looks to cost $49.99 and will include all available DLC, as well as some new extras. The new service should launch June 4th. Sometimes news comes out between when we shoot the show and post it, which is what happened with Anarchy Reigns. According to the developer Platinum Games, the release date for Japan has been untouched, but they are stating that the US and UK release dates are to be confirmed. The title is complete and localized, so we'll have to wait until Sega makes an official announcement. Speaking of delays, the European release date for Inversion has been pushed back until sometime in July. As for the US, the game is still slated for June 5th. In some good news, however, Tomb Raider has gotten an official release date of March 5th, 2013. For the handheld market, Little King's Story is getting a sequel to come out on the PlayStation Vita. Another title coming to the handheld market is a new Spy Hunter, which will be released on both the Vita and 3DS. And finally, last week we talked about a rumored Castlevania game for the 3DS. It's now been confirmed it will be Castlevania Lord of Shadows, Mirror of Fate. Quite the mouthful. Keeping with the Castlevania Lord of Shadows theme, Konami has announced that the 2010 title will be getting a sequel. On the other side of the handheld market, Final Fantasy Dimensions will be released on iOS and Android and as a new title with a retro feel. Now for some sequels that will be released as digital content. First, there's Ratchet & Clank Full Frontal Assault that is coming to PSN. Lord of the Rings Guardians of Middle-earth is coming to PSN and XBLA, courtesy of the fine folks at Monolith. Plus, Naughty Bear isn't dead, unfortunately, and will be revived with Naughty Bear Panic in Paradise on XBLA. CD Projekt, developer behind The Witcher, is working on a new project that will be set in the universe of the Cyberpunk tabletop RPG series. Game Informer has confirmed that there is a new Gears of War in the works. Gears of War Judgment is this month's cover story and will have more info released at E3. EA has confirmed that Dead Space 3 is in development, as well as Need for Speed Most Wanted, which is being developed by Criterion. Details are limited as they are saving them for EA's E3 press conference on Monday, June 4th. Anyone that's been jonesing for a new Star Wars game should be happy, as LucasArts has announced Star Wars 1313, which will be a third-person action game focusing on mature themes in the Star Wars universe. Also, you play as a bounty hunter in the seedy underground of Coruscant, called Level 1313, hence the title. Warner Brothers and NetherRealm Studios are working on a new title called Injustice: Gods Among Us, which pits DC heroes and villains against one another, similar to 2008's Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Valve has announced that Dota 2 will be free to play using the same model as Team Fortress 2 has included. And now for some lawsuits. First off, there's Epic's lawsuit with Silicon Knights over the fact they didn't pay for the use of the Unreal Engine. Silicon Knights lost, having to pay Epic $4.45 million. Of course, Silicon Knights didn't agree and have appealed the verdict. In more legal news, Activision has finally settled with Infinity Ward's founders Vince Zampella and Jason West. The amount is unknown, but you can assume it was a metric shit ton, somewhere in the hundreds of millions. And as Activision settles one case, another arises, as now the band no doubt is suing Activision for using their likeness and band hero in ways that were not agreed upon. Well, that'll do it for this episode. If you haven't checked out the site in a while, ControlNation.com, now is as good a time as any, as we're always adding new content. And while you're at it, why not get social with our Facebook and Twitter? And we'll see you here again next week.